Alright, let's play Space Engineers. I'm been playing on this server for a couple days now. Um, and I have created a pretty good ship. It's doing really well. It's get some lights on here. So I got some solar panels on top. In the beginning, these were more helpful, but now I have uranium, so most of my power comes from that. But it's it's kind of like just a backup power source. Recently put these two Gatling guns on for defense. I don't know if they would. Honestly, it's not a very. My strategy is to run away if anybody attacks me, because it's not armored. Like, I added some armor, but it's got a lot of gaps. Um, but I put equal thrust forwards and backwards in all directions. Got ion and hydrogen, which it's nice to have both. You get the extra speed from the hydrogen, but if you run out, at least I've got the ion. I got two gyros back here. There's an assembler with speed modules, and then inside here there's a large cargo. There's a large hydrogen tucked in there. A bunch of batteries. Got the jump drive. And yeah, refinery's got all speed modules. And then that's kind of typical up to that point for my ships. But then this time I decided to put all my O2 H2 generators. So I got 6 of them right here in the front. And part of the reason for that is because I got my drills, and sometimes I go into asteroids a little too hard, and these are kind of expendable. If I lose, if I crash moving forwards, a head-on collision, this is all pretty replaceable. And yeah, then I also, for easy access, I put the recharge or the refill station in here. I like the inset because then you get the conveyor ports on all sides. Even though I'm not using the bottom one, but got my spotlight for mining, some extra lights there. This is a tip I learned from Luca on YouTube. The drill type 2, if you put them horizontal like this, then you get a little more visibility from this perspective. A better line of sight. The other thing I learned from experience is if I put these basic refineries right next to the drills, it prevents some of the stone from clogging things up, because those basic refineries will scoop up some of the stone before it gets into the big refinery or the survival kit. I was, fighting with that for a while. And then this works really well also. I put again, I love the inset options because you normally get more ports. And so I did the inset connector. And this is, normally when I do connectors on my ships, they're either like forward facing, backward facing, or downward facing. But this is great because when I dock, I can see it right from my cockpit here. So it's really easy to dock on space stations. And also, if I dock, normally they have a catwalk or a walkway or bridge going out to the conveyor. So then if this is docked, then the walkway would be like, right here. So I just hop out of the cockpit and I'm right where I need to be. So that works out really well. And I got a remote, antenna, ore detector. this I was playing around with. I put this advanced rotor here because I was trying to make, I was experimenting with missiles. I was trying to make a kind of like a rangefinder. So what I would do is I would build on a small grid like a little torpedo with a beacon on it, and then I would shoot it out and like point it at an asteroid. I'd shoot it at the asteroid, and it would give me a little bit of an idea how far away it is. But that needs a little more tweaking to get working right. I'm using the new these things. What are they called? They're called structural platform connectors. These things are awesome because, especially early on, when you're trying to build out your hull, and you can just use one steel plate, and then bam, you've got a huge area kind of protected. So that worked out well. I spaced them out right here so I could get my downward thrusters kind of coming through these holes. So that works pretty well. And then on the back, I just put this yesterday actually. This is just a sorter, and it ejects the extra stone when I'm mining other more important minerals and things. So I thought that so this was interesting. I thought if I put the conveyor here after the sorter, and then I connected 3 connectors to discharge, I thought it would throw out stone 3 times as fast, but it doesn't really work. It doesn't seem to be working that way. It seems to be limited by the sorter, not limited by the amount of connectors on the outside. But anyway, that still works fine. That's pretty much it for the ship. Anything else? Oh, and I got, so I like having the cockpit out front. That works out well, and it's conveyored in because it's on this O2 generator. And then I like having the cryo chamber, especially on multiplayer, because when I log off, I hop in there, and then when I log in, I'm kind of looking forward. I don't know, I just like that. Obviously, it's not very protected at all, which is why my strategy is to run away anytime I get attacked. The oxygen tank very exposed, but I try to keep extra ice on hand in case I ever need to emergency make oxygen. And then I've also got a bunch of bottles here. Yeah, so I have 11 oxygen bottles. So these are all things I've learned the hard way, but always good to have a bunch of oxygen bottles on hand. That works pretty well. And then my survival kit is like back here somewhere. Here it is. There. The Type 2 is really cool. You get this little port there. Again, lots of batteries. I got the reactor, and then also I did AI defense and AI move, and I set it up to flee. If I'm logged out and somebody locks on, it should flee. So let me see what I got for that, the way I set that up. So on combat, it's on, AI behavior's on. Defend against enemies, and then for flee I did always. So anytime it detects another grid, it just runs away. And I set the flee distance to 4,000 because most weapons drop off at, I think, like 1,600. Railguns might be 2,000 meters. And then I haven't seen this work, but my theory is if I have the random deviation angle kind of low, but greater than 0, it should avoid like missiles and railguns. Maybe even assault cannons and artillery cannons. And then I set the deviation interval also very low. I think 1 is as low as it goes. Um, so basically every second it, deviates by 4 degrees up, down, left, or right. And that's this evasive maneuvers button here. The reason you don't, I think the reason you don't want this angle to be too high is because then when if your ship is trying to run away, it's making tighter turns. Its max speed is going to be much slower, so you're going to get, enemies are going to catch up to you faster. So even though you might be harder to hit, it's gonna take you longer to get out of that engagement zone. That's my theory anyway. And then for the move block, I set the max speed to 100. Not normally. I don't think I ever go into planetary atmospheres when I play. I like to stay out in space, just going from station to station, asteroids. Yeah, max. And then I pumped all these up. The max pitch angle, max roll angle. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to test. I don't know. I haven't seen it work, so I don't know if this would work well or not. But anyway, that's what I did there. Jump drive, all that stuff. Let's see what I have hidden here. I mean, that's pretty much it. But I've been doing pretty well. I got a bunch of, ores. I'm a little low on gold, but I have a bunch of silver, and I'm also low on platinum. I only have 450, but I got a bunch of uranium. That should last for a while. Bunch of food. I would like to make a farm, but I haven't really decided where I want to build it and on the ship, or maybe off the ship to make like a base. But I got some seeds. I got the mushroom spores, the vegetable, and I think I got fruit, but I don't have green. But that's, it's good to make better food than the kelp crisps. Only get so much. Yeah. Oh, and magnesium. I'm pretty low on magnesium too. But I used all the magnesium to make Gatling ammo. Which not really that much. Let me see, 12. Yeah, I could probably use some more magnesium, but yeah, maybe we can do that now. Yeah, so let's see where we're at. I'm just logging in, so I'll turn autopilot off. I'm on PlayStation, by the way, so that's why the controls look like this. Let's see. I did some factions. I sent I sent peace treaties to everybody because I'm not a very aggressive player. So we'll see if anybody wants to accept my peace treaty here. But I did get the peace, or at least friendly, with a couple of the NPC factions. So I did Galactic Conglomerate, Galactic Minerals, Imperial Makers, and let's see what I was working on here. So that's, oh, I have a contract. Let's see. Covington, Berkeley. Let's see what my contract is. I don't even remember. Gold. Okay. Well, let's see. Maybe I have some. We can check out this asteroid here, see what we got. The ship speeds up okay. I'm probably going to want to add some more thrusters very soon. because I like it to be accelerate 0 to 100 a little faster than that, but it's not horrible. Oh, the other thing I figured out was if I put this truss light right in front of the cockpit, I can use that to make sure I'm pointing at the sun by like a sundial. If I look at the shadow, I can kind of orient that way. But I don't want to crash right now. Let's see. So dampeners, this looks like cobalt, maybe magnesium, but it looks like cobalt here. I don't know, I can't tell the difference. I'll have to get closer. Yeah. Let's see what we got here. Cobalt, alright. So I try to mark them out when I find them, so that I know which asteroids I looked at already. There we go. Cobalt. Boom. And you can see I've got a bunch already that I found. Hopefully no one looks at my coordinates and tries to hunt me down, but that's part of the game, I guess. Let's see. Anything else here? I really wish there was a little better way to like survey asteroids. I know there's some pretty cool mods that you can install that let you kind of analyze asteroids and tell you what's there. I think it's called a mass spectrometer is one of them. And then when I play single player, I normally just go with the mod that lets you get like longer ore detecting range, which is kind of cheesy, but the game, you can kind of make the game as hard or as easy as you want. Like, I like to make other things harder and things like that a little easier. But yeah, so this one's cobalt. I don't know if we're gonna find any gold. Let's see. Why don't we go back to the station and see if there's any other contracts we can get. So why is that? That's 2000. What station was that? So that is an acquisition contract with. It doesn't say. Huh. I mean, I'm guessing it's one of the factions that I already. It's not. I labeled the stations C for center coordinates. So C5 and C5 is like the Earth-like planet, and then C6 is kind of like around the moon. And then for the other coordinates, I figured out how to split them up into sectors. So basically, if you look at, like, I see how I have NNN or NNP, it stands for negative, 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 or negative, negative, positive. And what that means is the x coordinate's negative, the y coordinate's negative, and the z coordinate's negative. So that's kind of like the one of the 8 quadrants, you know. So is it 8? 1, 2, 3. No, it's more than 8 because you can have, like, I think 9 different combinations or something. But no, sorry, I'm doing math. Probably like 2, 1, 2. I don't know. But and then like PPP would be positive. So it's nice because you can kind of see what stations are somewhat nearby. Let me turn them all on so you can see. Here we go. So what I did, like I colored NNN orange and PNP purple. So now if I look around, let's see. Like the purple ones are over there. Well, I think right now I'm kind of in the orange area. That's why they look all spread out. But anyway, that's because I was going nuts trying to figure out. There's just too many GPS coordinates, and I couldn't figure it out. But here, so now we can see the contract I have right now is, where did that go? Oh, and then I labeled, I don't know why I put TM, but TM would be like anything by the Mars. So let's go down here. There's TM. And then, so all these stations are pretty close to Mars, so I just added TM in front of them. There. It's either Mars or Titan. I'm pretty sure it's Mars. Yeah, so where's this acquisition contract going? We can turn this off. Earth. I think it's this one here. It's just so hard to see. Station. I'll turn off some of the minerals. Ice, iron, nickel. Crossway and Cavello. So that's actually a good example because, like, from this point of view, it looks like those two stations are overlapping and they're in the same spot. But actually, the blue one, Crossway, is 13,000 kilometers away, and the orange Cavello is only 2,000. So that's why one of them comes up as NNN and one comes up as NPP. So let's turn off all the distant stations. Okay, that's better. Yeah, so now it's obvious that that contract is with Cavello, which is STMG. And if we look at our factions, STMG. Good, we're good with them. Let's see. SPRT, we're going to stay away from that one. Space Pirates. Let's see. ENSL. Ah, so I think that's what I was doing when I logged off. I was making my way to Cohen Plaza here. Oh, look, there's a tug drone, and I'm allied with it. Let's see what happens here. I wonder if it'll tell me to get away. If I'm friendly. eat some food here. Oh, I can't see where the cursor is. There it is. Tug drone. So I'll turn the dampeners off, and then, so what I'll do is, like, I'll get up to maybe 50, and then I'll keep an eye on the crosshair and see where I'm going. I'm trying to get close to the tug drone without hitting it. So because the tug drone's moving to the right, I'm going to hit the right hand thrusters until that kind of calibrates. So the more I hit that, the slower it should move away. Eventually it should kind of, the trajectory should, there we go. So now I'm hitting the left thrusters to kind of zero it out. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to hit the down thrusters. And I just kind of keep playing with this until it, my you know, undampened trajectory is going where I want it to. So I'm hitting up a little bit, and it's really jumping around a lot. It's probably because it's online, but I'm curious what it'll, if the, because normally these NPC random encounters have event controllers and broadcast controllers, and you know, I think they're normally set up to broadcast if a ship is detected nearby, but I'm not sure if they change what they broadcast depending on the relationship. Like, because right now it's coming up as green, friendly. So I'm wondering if that will, you know, change what it does. Let's see. There it is. So now I'm gonna, there we go. Just like that. I'm gonna try to, so it's not, so now I'm kind of close enough to where it normally would be saying get away, but it's not. So I wonder, is it moving? Oh, it's stationary. Huh. Arrived at checkpoint. Proceeding. I mean, this is about as close as it gets. Now I have mag plates on here, so I could, I wonder if this is going to make it upset. See, on the sides of my drills I have mag plates so I can grab things. And it actually works pretty well. It's kind of like a hammerhead shark design. Let's see if it gets upset. It might get upset. So that should be locking, right? I don't know why it's not locking. Hello. I come in peace. I'll keep my welder out. That's the universal sign of friendship. Alright. Ooh, look at that. Gatling turret. Small grid. Access denied. Okay, that's kind of to be expected. But now, like, what's the purpose of this random encounter? Is it just an opportunity to be a pirate? Oh, oh, oh. Where'd I go? It just disappeared. It just teleported 2 miles away. I wonder if it's my connection or what. Now I'm kind of curious what's inside there, but huh. I don't want to keep chasing this thing. Let's see. Yeah, I think we'll let that go away. Maybe someone maybe I'll do some research and find out what the deal is with those. Let's jump to Cavello. Because I can get there in one jump. That's the other thing I might want to do is I might want to put a second jump drive so I can go 4,000 instead of just 2,000. But then I'm also going to want more power, probably a second reactor. So it's already set up for Cohen. So we want Cavello. I don't know, I haven't decided. Let's see. No, I want to go to Cavello, Cohen here. Let's jump. Cohen, jump. But we're only going to get 2,000, so I'm going to have to recharge. It takes like 15 minutes to recharge. So maybe I'll stop the recording for now. Let's see, jump drive. 7-minute recharge. Maybe I can put some more thrusters on here. I'm not really sure where to put them. Let's see. I like the warfare thrusters because you can connect them on the front, like on this piece here. Alright, where are we gonna put these? I mean, I could go just straight up here. It's probably the best option right now. Let's see. Get some components. And I like lining these up, but let's just do it like that. So we'll do one backward. One forward. Zoop. I really should do hydrogen because that's going to give me the most acceleration. Can make the ship wider. I could put... Oh wow, I didn't notice that. These connector platforms... Oh, they do. So I could put a thruster there. It's a little exposed. Because sometimes I scrape the bottom. I could put a thruster here and take out the algae tank. Because I really don't need two algae tanks. Let me do that. Oh, but my camera's on there. Shoot. Alright, we're gonna take the camera out, I guess. And we'll put our... I like these thrusters. Any more grids? There we go. Alright. And then, where can we put one over here somewhere? I could... I don't want to move those... oh, I could put one here. Almost charged. Let's see if that helps for speed. So full throttle. Yeah. I'm gonna need more, but I think I'm just gonna have to make the ship a little wider. I'm gonna have to bump out these conveyors here. So if I put those there, then I can have an additional forward and backward thrust. This is I'm gonna also need another hydrogen tank because this is gonna burn hydrogen very fast. Why doesn't that want to go? Go. The game got paused. Connection problem. Oh man. Alright, I'm gonna stop recording here. Hopefully it doesn't crash.